late to the party. I apologize. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent, and even the times. I think this is the time that I'm going to be streaming at, maybe between now and maybe um Rene the Rizlord, come on, Ank. We finish with this card. I mean, I hope so, my guy. I do hope so. And even if we sweep this card, I feel like I do so much research. But you know what? I have a plan on how I'm going to approach this. But going forward, I think I'm going to be a little bit more consistent, and I'm going to change things up a little bit for me personally as far as prediction strategy goes. So yeah, Manon Fior. Why am I saying Manon Fiorot? Erin Blanchfield versus Maycee Barber. Women's MMA main event. Um, it means we're in for a decision, most likely. Um, but I mean, to be fair, Erin Blanchfield is one of the few exciting fighters on the roster. Not exciting, but she's one of the few fighters that I mean, they are going to probably she's gonna have a decent what do you call it fight. So let me try and first look at um, their their previous opponents if this thing will cooperate with me. So the main purpose that I want to look at their previous opponents is because I think it's important to actually weigh up um, the current, which is something I used to overlook. Basically, the level of competition that each of them have actually faced. Obviously, we know that Erin Blanchfield went to a decision with Fiorot. She went to a decision with Rosana Mayunes and actually won that fight. She basically obliterated Jessica Andrade. Renier there is Lord. Blanchfield just finna walk forward and go for Miram. I mean, if she implements that plan, the thing that worries me about Erin Blanchfield is the fact that she had a terrible plan against Manon Fiorot. She just came in and was like, you know what, guys, I'm a striker. She pulled a Bilal Mohammed. No, no, Bilal Mohammed pulled an Erin Blanchfield. So it just worries me that she's going to try and focus on Maycee Barber's strong point. But even then, I just feel like Maycee Barber is a less skilled version of Erin Blanchfield to some skill. I'm not saying Maycee Barber is not good. I'm just saying I just felt like what do you call her? Erin Blanchfield is significantly better in every conceivable way, whether it's striking, whether it's grappling, especially grappling. But I'll try to break that down specifically as far as because I think it's important to look at the output, it's important to look at volume, and among other things. So, the people that, what do you call her? Maycee Barber has been fighting. I mean, she has a couple of good wins, but they're not top level. Okay, they're top. Wow, wow. Actually, I was I was I was crapping on Maycee Barber, but she has really good wins. She beat Cyphers. I don't know who Cyphers is, to be honest. I don't think she's even in the UFC anymore. In her first fight, she then beat JJ Aldrich. That's impressive. Not too impressive, but that's a little bit impressive. She TKO'd um, what do you call her? Gillian Robertson. That's really impressive, especially considering how Gillian Robertson is performing currently. That win has aged really well for Maycee Barber. But this was in 2019, so you can take that with a grain of salt. And then she lost to Modafferi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Roxanne Modafferi via decision. I don't know if that's That's a knock on her. She lost to Alexa Grasso. The question is, do you think Erin Blanchfield beats Alexa Grasso? I know it's MMA math, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like, and I said this in the breakdown leading up to the fight between Silva versus Grasso. I felt like Grasso has been very overrated. She got really lucky in submitting Valentina Shevchenko. The next two fights, like she won because of robbery. So I don't feel like she actually beat Valentina Shevchenko that many times. So for me personally, I've always felt like Alexa Grasso has been overrated. She's pretty, but I mean that's where it ends. For me, the best comparison. She's a better version of Juliana Miller. That's not a shot on Grasso, but she has sloppy striking, decent grappling. One of the most important things that she has is her grit, her determination. She's a dog. Like that's one thing you can't take from her. But as far as skill wise, I just feel like she's a better version of Juliana Miller. Her striking is not that great. Her grappling is not that great, but I mean, she's a little bit better. That's how I see Grasso. And she lost to Grasso via decision. I mean, but that was in 2021. I would assume she's improved. She won a split decision against Miranda Maverick. I don't know how I feel about that. She beat Montana De La Rosa via unanimous decision. She beat Jessica I. She beat what do you call her? Andrea Lee. I mean, Andrea Lee has the skills, but hasn't been performing the way she should be performing, which is kind of disappointing for her. She beat Amanda Hebers. I don't know via TKO. I don't know how I feel about that. And in her last fight, she beat Seminara. What Caitlin Seminara. I don't know. I Chukagian, yes. Her full name I think is Caitlin Chukagian. Jenny, hi man, how are you? And then let's go to what do you call her, Erin Blanchfield. I always like to look at, and the nice thing about looking at their history is it also informs some of the decisions that you take as far as who to pick, because I think the level of competition also informs performance, because a lot of the time people are misled by amazing performance against low level competition, right? If you look at someone who's fighting someone who's ranked number 12 and you're like, oh my goodness, like he looked sensational. And the other person has been fighting people who've been ranked number 7, 6, 8, maybe 5. The level of competition is not the same. So obviously the other one might not look aesthetically great because they haven't been fighting the easiest competition. So as far as Erin Blanchfield, just that my internet connection is somehow very slow. But as far as Erin Blanchfield, I feel like let me not make this stream a little bit too long. Um, but I want to go through Erin Blanchfield's previous opponents. I know that the last three opponents have been Rosna Mayunez, Manon Fiorot, and Jessica Andrade. Before that, she beat who? I think she submitted, or what do you call her? Didn't she beat Miranda Maverick? I'm not sure, but I'll come back to that. I just want to open up Erin Blanchfield's profile and just look at her previous fights. Yeah, it's opened up. Yes, her previous fight was Rosna Mayunas. Actually, let me go to back to her debut. So Erin Blanchfield's debut, they have more or less the same amount of opponents, or rather similar opponents. Okay, Erin Blanchfield um, beat Alpa. I don't know what this girl's name, but probably she's no longer at the UFC. She then beat Miranda Maverick, so that's a common opponent. And what do you call her? Erin Blanchfield beat her via unanimous decision, and Maycee Barber beat her via split decision. Another common opponent, Erin Blanchfield submitted, what do you call her? JJ Aldridge. She submitted Molly McCann, aka Molly Decan. Let me not say it. And then she submitted George. She then submitted, you won a unanimous decision against, what do you call it? Tyler Santos. Why she's no longer in the UFC? I think so. Tyler Santos is one of the most underrated, but I just feel like she's not taking a career too like seriously. I feel like she should have been a champion. She's so tough, man. She gave Valentina Shevchenko a run for her money, and I feel like had she been taking her career very seriously, I feel like Molly Mead I feel like had she been taking her career a little bit more seriously, I think she would have had a little bit more success. Um, but it is what it is. But I think Santos is a pretty good win. She then lost to what do you call her, Manon Fiorot. And that's one of the things that I actually had a problem with as far as um, Erin Blanchfield is because her game plan against Manon Fiorot was so stupid, and I don't really blame her. I would blame her camp, right? Because they are the ones who are supposed to game plan for her fights, and that's one of the things that I'm honestly worried about. It's the fight IQ. It's the game plan for this particular fight. They might fight to Maycee Barber's strengths, but the nice thing about this particular fight is I don't feel like there's anywhere where Maycee Barber is going to have any sort of an advantage. As far as experience, I think Erin Blanchfield is significantly better. She's faced higher level competition, more better competition than Maycee Barber. As far as grappling, I mean, obviously Erin Blanchfield is going to be significantly better. As far as striking, I mean, you know what? The last opponent that Erin Blanchfield faced was Rose Namajunas. And I know a lot of people criticize Rose Namajunas, and I also agree that Rose Namajunas is not the same since he left. Who's the guy who's I forgot? Like, don't crucify me, guys. I forgot the guy who trains Justin Gaethje and remind me, Rene the Rizlord. Please remind me. So since he left her, like that coach after that fight with Carla Esparza, Rose Namajunas has not been the same. UFC is starting to slug. Used to be good. I honestly agree, man. I honestly, sincerely agree. I feel like the product is slowly declining. Um, I mean, hopefully it gets to improve. Renier the Rizlot, yes. Thank you, my guy. Trevor Whitman, yes. Since Rosenama Yunus left, Trevor Whitman, I mean, like she has been performing terribly. Um, that Carla Esparza fight has Pat Berry written all over it. So I think that performance, nah, the spelling is not important as long as as long as it helped me remind, but I can remember, like her coach, So I think Pat Berry, the Carla Esparza fight has Pat Berry written all over it. I think Rose Namajunas, since the Carla Esparza fight, has been terrible, but still, the fact that she was able to go to such a close, or rather have such a competitive fight against Manon Fiorot, even with a broken hand, speaks to the talent of Rose Namajunas. And um, Erin Blanchfield was able to actually stand with Rose Namajunas, even though she mixed up the grappling and everything like that. She performed really decently. So as far as the breakdown of the particular of the fight in itself, let's start with the reach. I don't think either of them will have any type of a significant advantage as far as reach goes. As far as power, I mean, it's WMMA. I don't know if anyone's going to knock out anyone. As far as finishing ability, I would obviously give it to what do you call her, Erin Blanchfield. Um, okay, not necessarily. It seems like both of them are pretty decent at finishing. It just looks like Maycee Barber actually has the finishing abilities, a little bit more of the finishing ability than Erin Blanchfield. Blanchfield has a 46% finishing rate, while Maycee Barber has a what do you call it? A 62% finishing rate, which is quite significant. But when you take into consideration the fact that Erin Blanchfield has been facing a lot more difficult competition, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But as far as output, let's start on the feet. Striking wise, I think Erin Blanchfield will have the output advantage. I think Blanchfield is going to be throwing significantly more than Maycee Barber. And as far as striking defense, Maycee Barber is terrible. But like I said at the beginning of this particular video, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Erin Blanchfield has been fighting Rose Namajunas, Manon Fiorot. I don't know if I should mention Jessica Andrade, Tyler Santos. So when you take into consideration the fact that um, Erin Blanchfield's last four opponents were Tyler Santos, Jessica Andrade, what do you call her, Manon Fiorot, and Rose Namajunas. Her striking defense will obviously look terrible against especially Rose Namajunas and Manon Fiorot because those are really pretty decent strikers. So obviously her striking is not going to look as great when compared to, for example, Maycee Barber, who hasn't been fighting elite level strikers in the division, in my opinion. So I mean, you can take that how you may, but for me personally, even though I feel like Erin Blanchfield does not have the best striking defense, I would say it's because she's been fighting some of the best strikers in the division, whereas Maycee Barber hasn't faced anyone on that level as far as striking goes. So I don't know how this fight is going to play out on the feet as far as striking, but based on what I've seen so far, I feel like Maycee Barber is a little bit better defensively as far as the striking goes. But offensively, I think both of them are pretty decent in all honesty. But I would give a bit of an advantage to Erin Blanchfield because of the volume. But once again, Erin Blanchfield has been fighting elite level strikers. So her striking might look terrible against Rose Namajunas or Manon Fiorot, but Maycee Barber might look good against someone who's not as good as Rose or Fiorot. So it is like you can take it how you want to take it, but for me personally, I just feel like Erin Blanchfield has improved significantly. Even though the game plan to strike with Manon Fiorot was really stupid, it elevated her striking abilities and also fighting Rose Namajunas in the fight preceding that and actually finding success also shows that she's improving a little bit, not a lot, enough for me to have a little bit more confidence in her ability to actually stand and actually win the fight on the feet. But I generally don't think she should take, but again, keep the fight on the feet because even on the ground, I would say, I mean, I honestly favor Erin Blanchfield to be honest, but it's not like Maycee Barber is a slouch, you know. Um, but I don't know. This fight, the reason why a fight like this is a little bit more difficult to call is because Erin Blanchfield might not have been fighting the same level of competition as not Erin Blanchfield, Maycee Barber might not have been fighting the same level of competition as Erin Blanchfield. But at the same time, you can't deny the fact that there are some good qualities about Maycee Barber. However, the horrible element that I feel like is going to be the deciding factor in this particular fight, Maycee Barber has horrible takedown defense, and because of that, I think what do you call her? Erin Blanchfield is just going to do whatever she wants with her. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a submission. If it wasn't for the horrible takedown defense, I would be a little bit worried about this particular fight. And the thing about takedown defense is it's really difficult to improve even within a space of a year. And a lot of these fighters, when they stop fighting, that's when their camp stops as well. Like they give themselves around like 3 months to prepare for a fight, which means that's when they are going to work on their flaws, right? If you know you have horrible takedown defense, I don't know why these people don't do this. Every time you go to the gym, you go to the gym. I assume they go to the gym every day. I don't know, but I assume they go to the gym every day. Even if you don't have a fight, you have to keep in shape. But I mean, Paddy Pimblett doesn't seem like he does that. But my point is, I think Maycee Barber has horrible takedown defense, and I don't think it's improved. If anything, maybe it might have improved, but even with an improved takedown defense, I don't think it's going to be good enough against Erin Blanchfield. As long as Erin Blanchfield does not apply the Bilal Muhammad strategy, I'm going to strike with this girl. As long as she doesn't do that, I think Erin Blanchfield is going to win. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets like a submission. So I apologize for being late. I'm going to the next fight. Matilda Morant versus what do you, Ludovic Klein. So to join me, let's go to the next stream. If you're new to the channel, every single breakdown, I do breakdowns, I do prediction statistics all over the channel. Go through the channel, but for now, if you want to join me on the breakdown for the next fight, the co-main event of this particular card, let's go to that particular stream. Um, Uh, Pedro Berg, I'm not gonna respond to that. Yeah, let's go to the next stream. Deuces.